what it got me to get into service is the way that it was presented to me in more serious way. When I came to AA and I started listening that the groups have the final authority, they are the bosses. I said, wait, something is not right. And the way that they told me, I said, well, probably intrigued me, and I started asking about that. I said, well, it's true, but we got to be involved. And my group didn't have a GSR. So how my group going to be that boss to relate that group conscience to the delegate or to the structure? So the chain was broken. And then I started raising my hand and thinking I want to be the GSR. They didn't let me till the next panel. So I had to wait for my turn. And then that started to ask and get sponsored about the concept because it wasn't too clear to me how it really worked. And then I started reading a little more in this piece of the literature that really touched my heart was the chapter that said that how the services were developed from the language of the heart. That talk when the Bill and Bob realized that the massive alcoholic recovery was possible. They start thinking, as an alcoholic, what problem will come with it? There were no traditions, there was no guide. And they realized that there were services that the groups, the single groups, were not be able to perform or doing well. So then they start thinking, how are we going to do? Then there was created the Alcoholic Foundation, and there were members, dear members that helped how AA was growing. And there was a certain, not to make it too long, there was a certain moment that they realized that these trustees or these people helping, there was no known from the fellowship. How we gonna, and they realized, Bill and Bob, that they were not going to be here forever. How they were the link between the Alcoholic Foundation and the community. How are we going to solve that problem? Then we decided to create a conference. It was in 1951 that the groups took that responsibility. The work services. How are we going to do it? Right? And then they start working, the conference was structured, and they start working. There were delegates. In the beginning, they would say, well, that implies expenses, more work, and this, but it was necessary. And at the end, it worked. 1955, the state, they said, we're gonna go this way. The concept came later. Concept one starts from protecting AA from centralized control. Keeps AA spiritual, not political, and ensures accountability and unity. That's the best part that I like. Unity to me is more important than anything else in AA. This prevents there's a power concentrated in one person or one service body. The no single committee in AA runs and the authorities balance. That protects us from personal ambition. Also the outside influence. That's important to keep AA to ourselves. And that helps AA stay focused on our spiritual principles rather than the personalities. And these committees and service entities or groups, districts, they are responsible to the group that they serve. That helps to build trust, communication, and that the communication keeps flowing directly within our community and is effective. And then we can achieve our main purpose, that is to help the alcoholic that still suffers. Also, to me, it helps to understand that an AA is a fellowship of equals. There's no first or second class alcoholics, first class or second class service commitments. And one of the important things that when I was a GSR is that you start being a GSR, you start getting a little where I'm going, and then the agenda topics come in and what I'm going to do with this. Well, this is the most important part of your service because this is how your group is going to be expressing the informed conscious delegate it is going to be considered in the conference. How am I going to do that? My group didn't want to hear anything about it. Well, that's the challenge. And if for any reason I learn if you are in general service, if you feel uncomfortable, it's because you are doing it right. If you are too comfortable, it doesn't work that way. Something is not right. No service board in A governs, ever. We delegate authority. And it's clearly specified in our trusted servants. They do it out of love, gratitude, not pursuing personal agendas. I haven't seen. I might see some confusion maybe, but not bad blood like looking for something. Once we talk, we discuss it, we come to an agreement, okay, let's do this. Because this is the way that we do things in AA. And I learned something that touched my heart that when I was about to get to the group conscience and something that probably I took it for granted and realizing the importance of the service that I was doing, I had to be spiritually grounded before, and I prayed before making decisions. And the concept tells us that a healthy group conscience depends on informed discussions because an informed group conscience is essential to sound decision making. Members take time to understand the issue, so decisions are thoughtfully rather than rushed. Before any major decision, we encourage our members prayer and reflection, since important decisions should be preceded by prayer and careful consideration. Doesn't matter how long will it take. Oh, we have to vote. If it's something important, we have to. Probably our logic from the outside will say, rush it. We are not time. We need to get it done. But I learned in my early days and through sponsorship that one thing is the logic from the outside world and the logic inside AA. And it works different. It might sound crazy, but well, it's crazy, but it's true to me. And once I accepted and I lived it, I trust it. Considering the conference is the voice of the fellowship, they are our voice. We come back to the beginning. Once the conference decide what is going to be done based on our opinion and our uh, suggestion to our delegates. The trustees, the committees from the conference of the General Service Board, they're gonna take action in what we decide that they're going to be, is gonna be done. Right? Obviously, we trust them also with certain authority to decide what is going to be done or not, is considered or not, right? That's why we trust them. There's a part that if I had some hesitant thoughts about the process, there's a part that said we trust in the process, we trust in the alcoholics, and we overall we trust God. When I practice that, everything flows better. The debate ends, and I just say, I accept it. It's going to be that way. Probably, I need to mention that when I came to AA, I did not believe in God at all. I never had any religious, spiritual foundation when I was a kid. And only the thought to think about God, it gave me itches. I was so uncomfortable, it bothered me. Even the people that talk about God, I can't stand. Yeah, it was bad. It was. I just only thought that I was the one that had the last word all the time, and everything that happened in my life because he was so good at this, because I was so good at that, and I was so lucky that never God was never involved in anything. So when I come to a program that talks about humility and talk about how with our hands, God in all our affairs, it's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. I don't know how it happened, but I came to believe strongly. Now I'm firmly convinced that everything that happens in my life is because of him. And with that, I learned many things. Humility, my evil was good. And that the regular human beings were not able to understand my thoughts because I thought that I was from another planet. Even consider humans like subspecies, they talk to me. I was there, no. And when I hear that humility is the foundation of our services structure, well, we are not getting paid. We are not going to be recognized. We are not getting a medal or something. Then why I'm going to do that? With the time I learn and I start feeling the love of my fellow members that they had my home group open day and night, 365 days a year, not missing one day. And they always receive me with a hug and they keep coming, regardless what I told them, because I told them many things, not the pleasant things to hear, but I told them that. They show me love, tolerance, and when I felt that my life was changing, I had some months without drinking, without fighting, without being called to court. Out of jail. with some money in my pocket. And I still have my family. So, okay, I'm drinking. I'm changing. And I start feeling love from myself first. Because I realized how to love my kids, my wife, if I didn't love myself. So then I realized that something was changing, and maybe these crazy people they were right. And when that day fall down and I start seeing things differently, I start feeling that power of AA in my life, and service has been part of my regular life, from group services, inner group, district, now in the area. And I just feel grateful and honored to be part of this community, this membership, because that gives me the opportunity to do something for somebody that might not even know me. He will never know me, and he's getting sober. Maybe it's gonna save a life. It's what we do here. We save lives. This is what AA program is. It's about saving lives. People might think, oh, you are just a bunch of crazy people. Yes, we are. But we save people. We are heroes. That's how I would like to think about it. Because you know what? That gives me the drive to keep going and do this thing, because Bob in the last conversation said that we should keep it simple. Our program is defined in 2 words: love and service. That's it. Keep it simple. Even my email used to be, I keep it simple. That reminds me not to be I'm the guy that overthinks everything. But that helped me too. What happens if concept once is ignored? We can create a misunderstanding, and authority, if misunderstood, can create conflict and division. And that comes with, we can lose the unity that sometimes we take a lot of work to create and trust each other. And sometimes when authority is misunderstood, that I think that I'm the boss, creates this unity, and everybody is the service is disconnected with the fellowship. I don't know what happens, or somebody has an experience that many members, they don't care about general services. Is that honest opinion, because I seen it. And it's something that we can talk about it. There's no problem in accepting that probably not everybody's interested in general services. And guess what? It's also okay. If they do, welcome. If not, somebody is going to have to take care of it, because it's our responsibility. And the unity is essential for us. Not only to save our lives, but the life that they're about to come. Get it. I like it. I mean. And also this thing is that keeps our service accountable. The service has to remain responsible to the fellowship, not to one person, not to one committee, not to one board, not to one entity, because it's not, we are all, AA belongs to all of us who need it. And all will help to make it possible. United is strong, right? and the services responsibilities of all of us, and our unity is our greatest strength. And I'm gonna read this. How concept one connects with tradition two. Both place the ultimate authority in a higher power expressed through the group conscience. The tradition two tells us, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God, as he might express himself in a group conscience. The concept one expands the same idea to the entire fellowship. This is what if I understand that AA, we are all equal and we have a responsibility and there is authority, well, structure is how we're going to work. And I stop, and I do it out of love and gratitude, I'm gonna be okay. And AA is going to be okay. And with that, thank you for letting me share.